Okay, and we're back. Right now we're gonna work on chapters 10 through 15. I think it's actually a pretty short one, but like I said, I want to make sure that all the videos are short so you can kind of find your way around with all the information that you want to look for. So far we covered around maybe 20 questions. All right. Let's see. On page 298, there's going to be a question about how to. It's on forcible entry. It's going to be about how to get into, I believe, an inward opening door. And just remember where all the hardware is when it comes to an inward door. That's on page 289. Still on forcible entry. There's going to be a question on how to get into a casement window. That's on 307. Casement window. Basically, you have to break into it. You have to crack the window, then undo the crank, I believe. But look that up. 307. Still on forcible entry. Um, let's see. Know what a deadbolt is. I believe the question is uh, the most commonly found the most commonly found lock in a residency. I believe it's deadbolt. Okay, so look under 313 on rims, locks, and deadbolts. Just read the definition, read that paragraph. I think it's the one that's most commonly found. Okay, moving along to ladders. On a Bangalore ladder, just remember that there are stay poles that help stabilize the ladder. That's on page 329. This is one of the questions that I got wrong. On page 332, ladders inspections. It says ground ladders must be visibly inspected at least monthly. So just remember that's monthly when you have to check, when you have to inspect the ladders. It's visually inspected monthly. That's on page 332. On 335, please read the first paragraph for placement of ground ladders, where you're supposed to place them. Um, on 339, there's going to be a question about for rescue operations, the tip of the ladder should be just below the window sill, or just remember for evac, just remember where should the tip of the ladder be placed underneath the window. All right, moving along. Hmm. To page three 369. 369. Just remember the search techniques. I believe the answer is it has to do with just remember you're in teams of two when you have a search team. But just read the beginning paragraph of the search technique. I kind of forgot what the actual question was, but I believe it should be like two in, two out, or something like that, or it should be two stay together. That's on page 339. Um, Page 382. Know what a cradle in arms carry is. Just know what a cradle in arms carry is. I marked it down for a reason. That's on page 382. Um, okay, 388. Know what a firefighter drag is. Okay, they're gonna try to trick you in that question, I believe, and they're gonna ask you. They're gonna kind of confuse you with a web slinging drag. That's when you actually have that device where you could. It's like a piece of material where you just lock the firefighter's arms around the shoulders. But just remember, know the difference between a web sling drag, and a firefighter drag. I'm not sure what the question is. Whether it is when you have the hands collapse, um, hands bind together, or if it's an emergency situation, or if it's has to do with to deal with a bigger person. But I believe it has to do with binding hands. Just know what a firefighter drag is and a web sling drag is. That is on 388. Okay. On page 407. 407, there's going to be two things. Know what a negative pressure ventilation is and a positive pressure ventilation is. Know which one is which, and what the dangers of a positive pressure fan. That's basically you're putting oxygen back into the environment, and you might be able to rekindle the fire. Also on page 407, um, know your windward and leeward directions. Okay, so that is on 406 and 407. All right, moving along. Chapter 15. Know what a dump valve is. Know that that valve allows to discharge all the water into a portable tank quickly. I believe that they're going to ask you how what device allows a tanker truck to discharge all the water. I believe the answer is dump valve. Okay, that's on 446. Okay, on page 452, there's probably going to be a question on what a wet barrel hydrant is. I'm not sure what it is, but just read up on it on page 452. Okay, on page 454, there's probably going to be a question about why you should turn the hydrant slowly, or I believe it's actually the operations of a fire hydrant. So you might want to study that what you actually have to do if you don't know the steps, or if you can't imagine what steps you have to do. But I think the answer might be open the hydrant slowly to avoid a pressure surge. But just kind of go through these steps here on page 454. All right, that concludes my chapter review from, I believe, 10 through 15. That covered around 12 questions. All right, we'll see you on the next one.